Hi, and welcome to Live with Impact. I'm Angela Brown, and I'm really excited about the conversation we're having today with Omuugn. This is a book that we're going through every Saturday from the insights and wisdom of Omuugn. This is a lifetime of wisdom added into two volumes called the Live with Impact series. And here to help me unpack these ideas of wisdom, we have Omuugn himself. Today's topic is on change and how it affects our lives. So please help me welcome Omuugn. I know for me, when I look around at a lot of people that are a generation ahead of me, and I say, I don't want to end up like that. This year, I've gone to 7 funerals, and I think to myself how sad that this person died. Like one of them is my Uncle Scott. Uncle Scott died at age 70, but for the last 12 years of his life, he was in intense pain. So every day as I'm getting dressed, I say to myself, wow, that's really sad because he was so young when he died. And then he was in pain for so many of those years. How sad is it you would have to live in pain because either of health choices or something that happened? So as I look at all the different people that have died that have affected my life somehow this year, I'm asking myself different questions so that I can make different choices about the changes that I'm making in my life. Not so that I'm judging those people, but I can say, what can I do differently? I do have a choice right now. Right now, I can make different choices so that when I'm 70 years old, hopefully I'm out running marathons and I'm vivacious and I'm living life to the fullest. Not that I'm calling it quits on life because I was so unhealthy, that was the best option. You know what I mean? I'm curious, how do we take what we have right now, the world that we're in today, and just kind of freeze it for a second and say, what changes can I make that would be productive moving forward? Because it's easy to get trapped into our little zone and just drift aimlessly through life. We're like, whoa, how'd I get here?
Well, there are a lot of different ways that you can look at life. One of the perspectives is that our life is a progression of choices that we have made. And what we experience depends on those choices. As we look back on our life, we should have learned a lot of lessons on how to make better choices. So, to a large degree, our life is composed of the lessons that we have learned and how we have implemented those lessons in the choices that we have made. We should spend more time looking at the lessons and looking at it's kind of like creating the best version of yourself. We always want to be the best version of ourselves. So that no matter what circumstance we're in, how would I present myself in this situation if I were the very best version of myself, the person that I would really like to be? And if I want to be that person, what are the characteristics that person would have? How would they show empathy? How would they show patience or tolerance? Or should they share their belief system or not? Sometimes we don't want to do that because we're aware of the person that we're talking to, and maybe that person is very judgmental, or if you told them how you really felt about things, it would cause a circumstance or a conflict. So we need to be aware and only share things that need to be shared. Sometimes the best thing to share is silence. We should learn from our lessons and decide who we want to be and then live our life based on that. And that would solve a lot of problems. We wouldn't be reactionary people, we would be proactive people, and we would create the situations and the scenarios and the relationships that really would be meaningful. So
So let me ask you, if you are going to be the best version of yourself, how do you hold yourself accountable to being that person?
it's being aware really of what the universal laws and foundational principles are, because living those would be the best version of yourself. The universe is always trying to support your belief system. For example, if you believe that you're poor, the universe will support you in that belief. It will make certain that you don't have the resources that you need for anything, and you can live a life of poverty. I had an experience this week where a person was given a gift, and the gift was some personal items wrapped in a beautiful package. The person had kept that for several months, And the person who gave them that gift came to them and said, "Why aren't you using this? This was my gift to you." And the person said, "This is such an expensive gift. I didn't want to use it because it's out of my comfort zone to appreciate expensive things." The person who gave her the gift said, "Actually, the company who made this, these were overstock, and I gave you this gift." And this person said, "Well, now that I know, I will use it." We have belief systems sometimes that are really strange. And we need to realize that we live in a universe of abundance, and the universe is trying to support our belief system. If we have a belief system of abundance, the universe will make sure that our life is abundant in every way. And if you're grateful for the abundance, and if you show appreciation and thank the universe, thank deity, thank the Lord who oversees us and blesses us, then more blessings will come. It's like a river of energy and resources that flow. There are some people who are just generous. They give you things and they help you and they do things that are nice for you and that you really appreciate. And then you help other people, and it's just a river of resources that is recirculating. There are some people who are hoarders, and they just grapple onto things, and they have boxes full of things that they will never use. I knew a person who had saved big chests full of clothing, and by the time they had passed away and that clothing was inherited by other people, the fabrics had changed. Instead of all of the ironing, they have new wrinkle-free material. So most of that was just discarded. It never served anyone any purpose at all. Some of our habits are just not good habits. If we're aware, change is going to take place, and we want to maximize the change. We want to maximize the lessons that we've learned. We want to maximize the choices that we make and use change for our benefit and for our development and to become the person that we want to become.
Well, I'm really inspired and I'm really freaked out by this conversation because I love change and I hate it at the same time. And I have to really stop and ask myself, does this apply to me today? Can I put it on the back burner for another day? Can I not change for one more day and then change as I have to because change is coming at me so fast and so furious right now? I have a team of people, and every day I might get 3 or 4 different hits from people on my team that say, "Hey, there's a new program you should check out." And I'm like, "Whoa, I can't review 40 products this week. I just don't have the bandwidth." So let's put it on the list and then let me see if I can try to maximize the change in priority according to what the project is I need to do today. And of the project I need to do today, which of these possible pieces of software or apps or plugins would help me get through these, and which do I absolutely need to look at today? The change is happening so fast, I can't possibly keep up. So I hear what you're saying and I love it and I hate it. And here I am willing to embrace it.
There's a law called the law of polarity, and energy is always flowing, it's always moving. And if we're aware of the way energy is moving, and if it's not what we prefer, there's actually a technique to focus our intent on the opposite. We need to move the energy in the opposite direction if it's not moving in the direction that we prefer. Energy follows intent. And so if we intend where we want our energy to go, we can effectuate change in a meaningful way that will be very beneficial to us. We control our problems, we control our circumstances, we control our challenges by the way energy is flowing and how we're reacting to it.
That was really good. Am I right? Ah, I just love these conversations that we have every Saturday. All right. So if you haven't picked up your copy already, this is the Live with Impact series with insights and wisdom of Omuugn. This is volume 1 that we're working through right now. It is part of a series. Part 2 is also available, and you can get a discount if you buy it in the bundle. But pick up your copy right now so that you don't miss next week's topic when we go through the next segment of the insights and wisdom of Omuugn.